UNDERCLOVER. This is a band who I have been hearing about in dribs and drabs, but I got my first real listen to them the other night, last night actually, on a Twitch stream where someone recommended them to me. I listened to their latest song to come out, and you know what? I was quite impressed. Now, obviously, most of what I cover is Japanese bands, but you know, I'm in Asia, I've been to other Asian countries, there are other Asian countries with great music, and I'm always excited to hear them. I feel like Japan is leading so much of the sort of progression of a lot of the really good, if you like, Asian music writing techniques that have, like, you know, pushed this part of the world so far ahead. But it's not to say that we're not getting great music out of other countries as well. So when something like this comes along, a group from Thailand, I'm very excited to see what that means. Now, the first song that I heard, like I say, the most recent one to come out, sorry, I can't remember the name of it. I should have worked that out. They're performing in front of like an hourglass. Anyway, that one, I thought it was really nice tonally. I loved the singer's voice as well. I felt musically it was something where it was fairly mid-tempo. It wasn't a huge amount of nuance, but I just loved the tone of it and the feeling of it. And it felt like something where I was like, okay, if this band has variation on top of that, if they've, you know, managed to solidify this really cool mid-tempo song, but they got other things that show different sides of them as well, this could be really exciting. So here I am. Apparently they dropped a few songs in quick succession. So I'm going to go back to the one that came out most recently before that, which is this song called No More. It's less than 3 minutes, so it could be a little bit of a speedy banger, which could make it a bit of contrast from that other one I heard as well. I'm just excited. I really want to know what this band sounds like. I want to get to know them a little better, and I really hope this is something exciting, because I mean, I only recently really started getting into Rolling Courts from Korea and other bands, like there's a band called Idiots from Korea as well. And, you know, we're hearing all kind of music from just all around the world. I'm super excited about this. Let's jump in. Yeah, so this is UNDERCLOVER, got to remember that name, with the song No More. Came out a couple of weeks ago. I'm really excited to check it out. Enough waffle, let's get into it. Okay, cool, promising start. Oh, nice bass. Oh, and of course, two vocalists. Always a powerful thing to have. They're into that sort of big impact sound, aren't they? I love that sort of rhythm change between the vocalists as well. There's a really good back and forth between them. I also noticed their music videos, they have a thing about background, we perform. That's an efficient budget technique. I think the other song had a similar thing where it did a sort of very quick, heavy breakdown and then went straight back to the last chorus. Oh, nice. Liking that double time. And it's a good chorus as well. All right. Okay. See some credits on the screen. Okay. So I really enjoyed that, but I've got to be honest, we're always honest on this channel. There's a couple of things in this that I'm really kind of, I want There's certain things that I want to move forwards with this. Now, first of all, let's get the basics out of the way. I love the sound. I love the singer's voice. I really like. I love the chorus. The chorus is super catchy, and there is something tonally about this band which is so nice. It's funny. I mentioned Rolling Quartz earlier, the Korean band. There is a similarity I want to draw between this and Rolling Quartz in that. Some people said to me that they, people who are into a lot of heavy music, they felt that Rolling Quartz wasn't very heavy because the guitars weren't as loud. And I think it's a similar thing with this band, with Underclover, but I don't actually think it's not a case of it not being heavy. I think the guitars are quieter, which means as a result, you get more impact from the drums. And I actually kind of like this way of mixing a song. I think it's nice. Yeah, is it a little bit cleaner? Maybe it's not quite as loud and as in your face as like some other rock bands, but what you get in exchange for that is something with a little bit more impact. There's a little bit more punch because of the fact that all of the sounds have more room to breathe. So I do like a lot about the tonality of this band as well. I love the use of two singers. I've always said this, every band should have more than one singer, even if the other members are doing backing vocals and stuff. It's always a benefit to have more than one singer. And they use them really well. I love the way that the lead guitarist is kind of playing off of doing a slightly more rhythmic thing in parts here, and they sort of back and forth between them really nicely. I think that gives the band a whole extra identity. This is all really good stuff. As you probably gathered from the way I started this review, there are a couple of things I do want to pick up on, though. Now, I've only heard 2 songs by the band. First thing is that, this felt like it had a very similar arrangement to the other one. I'll have to go back and check that, but I know that there's contemporary arrangement, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. That's fairly normal, but I felt like it was just a couple of bars of heavy and then straight to the last chorus. I feel like this band has the ability to kind of do more and expand more on that. And, especially for a song like this that kind of had a nice heavy feel to it. I was like, I'm not saying they have to do like a guitar solo or just suddenly do a heavy metal breakdown, but it would have been nice to see them build that up. And I felt this was a very melodic song as well, so they could have done a melodic bridge where, maybe go into a key change and the singer gets to sort of like really build up her voice and throw you into the last chorus. I felt there was room for more of a bridge. That's one thing. The other thing as well, and this is probably the more contentious point, because this is the one where I come up against a lot of people, and one of the reasons why a lot of people love bands like The Warning, but I can't really get into The Warning so much and things like that, is because the bass player here is clearly talented, clearly very talented, but I can't help but feel that most of what we're hearing from the bass is root note following what the guitar is doing, just following the chord pattern. Bass, when you've got a band which has got basically the only melodic instruments are one bass and one guitar, there's so much room to be interesting. So much room to be interesting and do really interesting things on the bass and do nice counter things to the guitar. She's clearly got the talent, but like this is why I've always said with the bands like The Warning, people love The Warning, but to me they sound a bit thin because there's not really much counter happening. And I feel like I want there to be more counter between the bass and the guitar to make things sound a bit thicker, because the talent is clearly there. Maybe it's just these 2 songs. These are 2 singles after all, but I want to hear a little bit more separation between what they're doing. Yeah, I know there's the one bit where there's the finger picking and like the sort of arpeggio style thing, but maybe some people wouldn't call it an arpeggio, but yeah, there's the finger picking, but still what's being finger picked there, the bass is basically playing those chords one at a time anyway. So I feel like there's a little bit more room for this band to kind of thicken up the arrangement of their songs, even as a 4-member band. But basically, I really like what I'm hearing. I do want to hear more. I'm especially excited because this is a band out of Thailand. Obviously, recently we've all been exposed to things like Body Slam, who were obviously very famous in Thailand before, from what I've gathered. But them doing the song with F Hero and Babe Metal, that brought them into the attention of a lot of other people from outside of Thailand. So I've started seeing a lot of that. I've seen a lot of bands coming out of Thailand. So I feel like there's a bit of a rock revolution going on in Thailand at the moment. Thailand has a very rich musical history, but I feel like there's a lot more coming to or bubbling to the surface, or at least getting noticed now. So bands like this are very exciting. But yeah, I feel like this is a band where they've got a lot of potential. I still feel there's a lot of room to grow though. And that's exciting. If that potential is fulfilled, obviously they might not want to do anything that I say. They might listen to all my advice and go, that is not shit we want to do. Shut up, you weird guy sitting in your living room. And I would have nothing to do but go, fair enough. But just in my opinion, I feel like I can see areas where I want them to grow, and that's always exciting. So I'm excited for more of this. what they got at the moment is good. I feel like it's the first few steps on the path to something more, and I'm here for it. So I'm looking forward to hearing more from them. As always, get in the comments to tell me what you think, and until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan or wherever you are, for now, ciao, ciao.